This is the Treu Real Estate 911 podcast with Lisa Treu. Lisa will share up-to-date real estate information with you that you need to know.
Welcome to Treu Real Estate 911. It's Brian Mudd along with your local real estate pro, Lisa Treu. Now, you hear all kinds of excuses when it comes to real estate these days. The Treus, they have solutions. We're going to talk about them, including something that might be great for college kids. And parents, listen up, because this could be something that is advantageous for you as well. Before we get started, if you're not already there, go to TreuRealEstate911.com. When you get there, it makes sense. Best local resource you're going to find for real estate. And when you're ready to reach out to the Treus, if you're buying, selling, if you just have questions, they're always ready to help. Call 561-972-8326. That's 561-972-8326. Lisa, we were just talking about it. It doesn't feel like fall is here, and yet fall is here.
It is, and we know that because everywhere that you go, you see pumpkin spice everything, right?
I even heard that there is a pumpkin spice spam.
Ooh, yeah, I'm going to pass on that one.
Yes, that is jumping the shark on the pumpkin spice thing, I think. Okay, so aside from the fact that fall is here, whether we've mentally gotten around on it or not, what is going on with real estate? We know that there have been challenges in the market all throughout this year. What are you seeing right now?
Well, the good news is we have been able to help both buyers and sellers capitalize on the opportunity in the market. In the past couple of months, we've seen deals for our buyers that we've represented that honestly we just haven't seen for a very long time. We've been able to get them below appraised value. I mean, that was just unheard of. We've closed a couple of properties where they've been able to get $20,000 or $30,000 below the actual appraisal. And so I think it's a great time if you have the right strategies. There are opportunities for sellers. We've sold properties that were on the market for months with other agents and been able to get even the luxury properties sold. And so if you're buying or selling, it's just a matter of having a plan and having the data and understanding how that applies to you so that we can take the right actions to help you win.
Okay, and specifically within the market, what is it that we're seeing right now that is working? What is challenged?
Well, real estate is so much fun right now because it is very, very, very local. I'm always amazed at people that are not doing this full time. I don't even know how they could begin to understand this market. Steve and I are literally studying for hours to keep pace of what's going on. So one luxury home may be in an area where it's a buyer's market, and the same price point in another area, maybe in a seller's market. The frustration that many buyers and sellers have is they talk to their friends and they hear, I can't find a home. And they think, well, then I'm never going to find a home. And yet you really do have to have somebody who understands the cities, the communities, and that can help you decipher what is the best strategy.
Okay, and so as we're talking about strategy, that segues nicely into what you'd like to discuss today. So you're telling me a little bit about this idea that's come about that could be a real solution for parents that have kids in college and a way to not only create more value within the family, but also perhaps some tax strategy and efficiencies as well.
One of the things that I think I've learned recently is that there are loan programs out there for parents with college students. And, I think that many parents that are writing checks for dorms or apartments and paying a landlord, those numbers can get big and they get a little frustrating. And so this new program is pretty amazing where mom and dad with the child can buy a property where they're going to school, and they can get a program with as little as 3.5% down, which when you do the numbers, it's pretty impressive. It also helps you get your child kind of started on the real estate path. While they're in school for the next 2, 4, some 8 or 10 years, if they're going to do graduate programs, this property is building wealth and equity. Now, what many of my clients are talking about doing is buying the property and then maybe buying a 3-bedroom home and then having their child manage the rental of the other 2 bedrooms so that, yes, you've got a little bit of money invested in it, and yet basically your child is living there for free. The friends are happy because they're getting a great property, and your mortgage payment is being paid down by someone else. It's a great option. Now, you need a responsible person.
Oh, I was going to say, because that could be like the next fraternity or sorority house.
It could. And I think that the parents have to know their college student and know if this strategy is something that they want to do. And yet, honestly, I would have done it with my kids. And if the program had been there when my kids were around, I would have done it. And many of the people are talking about, okay, when my child graduates, especially in some of these great, amazing college towns, I'm going to keep the property and we're going to keep it as an income property. So I just think it's a really solid way to find a place for your child to live while they're going to college, offset some of those expenses, and build some wealth for whatever agreement you want to make with your child. Maybe this is kind of your gift to them to reinvest the dorm money you would have spent, or maybe you partner with them. Kind of depends again on your family situation. And yet I think it's something that if I asked 10 people, 9 would probably say I'd never even thought of that. So
I hadn't.
Yeah, it's a great, great option. And I love the fact that you can get homestead.
Yeah.
Which is a real plus compared to you just buying an investment property.
Yep.
And then you can't get the homestead benefit for that because you already own another property. So it's a great way to kind of keep your costs down, get the homestead benefit, and just look for ways to create more wealth for you and your child.
And there are certain communities, as you mentioned, that work better than others, but you can certainly see something like this potentially being effective in Gainesville or Tallahassee, for example. And, when you're talking about the amount of layout, when you hear buying a home, I think people are thinking, hold on, I'm already paying for a college education. This sounds really expensive. But you're talking about from a monthly payment standpoint, finding a property that would effectively match what you'd be paying for a dorm anyway, right?
You would. And the benefit is that you can offset some of your costs by renting out the extra rooms. And, I think that many families do that anyway. They get a 3-bedroom apartment that they rent from a community, and then, they divide the rooms up. Why not go ahead and do this where you're building the equity, not building the equity of another landlord? And, I agree with you. I think Gainesville and Tallahassee would be great, but I also think that Boca Raton would be great. FAU has become a substantial university, and in my opinion, they have a shortage of dorms for their students. And people think it's a local school. It's not anymore. It used to be when I first moved here back many, many years ago, but it's become a place where people come to from other areas. Lynn University is another great example.
That's true.
And then, of course, in West Palm, we have great universities there. So I think that this works for us locally, and certainly for people that are sending their children away to other areas. And I've got great real estate agents that will take amazing care of you if you want to buy in Gainesville or in Tallahassee or anywhere else, Tampa. We can put you in touch with somebody who understands this strategy and can help you pick the right property for the right situation.
Yeah, if you only had Florida prepaid that went along with this program, be all set. Maybe that comes next.
Yeah, who knows?
So, when you're talking about putting this together, how quickly can this come together? Because, you're talking about a difference in terms of the property that we're looking for rather than what we would just identify as a home we might want to buy for ourselves. From that investment standpoint, how much time do you need to put this together?
So this is why I wanted to talk about this right now. This could all happen before it's time for them to renew their next dorm the next semester. So starting in January, they could be moving in, or December, ideally for homestead benefits, moving into their new property and not being, living in a dorm. It's about finding the right property. It starts with a consultation, speaking with our lender, getting pre-approved with our lender, and then it's just a matter of us finding the property. Statistically, right now, Our team is finding our clients the right property after 4 to 6 homes. And this doesn't have to take a long time. You can 100% find your home and be moved into it by December to get this year's homestead, to file for homestead for the next year, and also to avoid having to deal with the dorms next semester.
So it sounds like it can be manageable. And rather than this being more stress on us, if we come to you and say, all right, here's what we're looking at, you take it from there?
Yeah, so we'll get you in touch with our lender who understands this principle. We will schedule an appointment for you to come in or over the phone, do a consultation with our team, and then we will start finding the right property matches, get you out there, negotiate the deal, handle all the closing, and then celebrate with you on closing day.
Well, I mean, that sounds like a plan that could be coming together. And, when you talk about someone who is a good profile buyer for this type of situation, what is there a certain type of person that might be better suited for this?
Well, I think from a student standpoint, somebody who's reliable, and we all know our children best, someone who's going to take care of the property, someone who's going to communicate with you when something's broken, and someone who maybe has really good quality friends that they're going to also take care of the property. From a financial standpoint, I think that many people could do this because they already are going to be writing that hefty check anyway for a place for their children to live. And you need the 3.5% down in order to do this. So, you need to have $10,000, depending on the price point. But $10,500 would get you a $300,000 home. So maybe your children don't need to live in a $300,000 home, depending on where it is, right?
Yeah.
If we're in Gainesville, they certainly can probably get something for less. And so I think that the first thing is just to call me. Let's explore it and see if it's right, because if it's not, it's okay. And yet, if you don't pick up the phone and make that phone call, you may miss out on that opportunity.
Oh, I mean, just makes sense over paying money that you're never going to see any return on. I like the creativity here. All right, so we're talking about fall. You're saying in time for January and even renewal in the next semester. If we're not certain that this is right for us, you talked about getting in touch with you and having that consultation. What is the drop dead timeline? Let's say we wanted to hit homestead for this year. How much time do you need to be able to get this done?
Our lender, and he will not like me saying this, but our lender can close a deal in 2 weeks if he has to. He did a VA loan for me 2 years ago in 10 days, start to finish, in December.
Whew.
Now, is that ideal? It's not. It is not what I want to do. It is not what he wants to do. And it's certainly not what the consumer wants to do, because they have to be ready and on it. And yet it's possible. So I would say the drop dead date from a homestead standpoint is probably going to be the first week of December. Let's just aim for that. It could push a little bit. Now, the question comes of when do you have to commit to your dorm next year? Every school's different. So that drop dead date, obviously you want to know that you're able to get them someplace to live before you opt out of the dorm. So what they need to do is go look and see what that date is. Is it mid-November? Is it December? I don't know. What I do know is there is still time right now to handle it all before that drop dead if you pick up the phone and take action on it.
Or you just do, if the timing doesn't quite work right, you go ahead and do it, and then you just become Rodney Dangerfield.
Sure.
Seemed like he had a lot of fun.
Yes.
All right. So if this is of interest to you, then the Treu's ready to help you. And true of anything else, buying, selling questions, always a resource. If you're not at TreuRealEstate911.com, go there. Check it out. If you are, and you're ready to reach out to the Treu's, they're ready to help. 561-972-8326. 561-972-8326.